What's going on, everybody? I want to go ahead and do a video today. Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. A lot to talk about today. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell button. That way you're notified every time DStyleBoxing, that's me, comes on live. Don't miss the roundtable, 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. We have a lot to talk about. Also, tomorrow at noon Eastern time, we will be having the HCP podcast. Okay. So make sure you tune into that. We will have Christy Martin. And of course, we'll further talk about this fight. And we would like to see you guys there. So hit that bell button so you're notified. Punker Die, how's it going, brother? I think you're talking about when I was with you guys at H Money's. Shout out to you. Hashtag HCP. Share the video. Shen Smoke, how are you doing? And of course, DJ Mexicano de Tejas, usually first. I appreciate the support. Check this out. Okay. Andre Rodriguez, thank you for your membership, brother. You guys can join as low as 99 cents a month. You can support the channel. And you get to use all the great emojis like the HCP is war emoji, HCP, you're down with HCP, all that good stuff. At Chido Boxing, saludos HCP. How's it going, brother? The question in the video is Canelo versus Plant. Does experience / resume matter? Does it matter? Right? And I believe that this question is deeper than just a yes and a no, right? Yes or no. You can't really just say yes, and you really can't just say no, because it's yes, sort of, and no, sort of, right? Now, let me explain to you why resume does matter, right? Overall. Now, I keep hearing and people say the following. You can't take your resume to the fight. This is your resume, right? You can't take it. You can't take a resume to the fight. Your resume can't help you during the fight. Well, that is true. Your resume can't help you during the fight. You can't wrap up your resume and like yes or some shit, right? And smack your opponent with it, right? You can't you can't make egg weights. You can't put your resume in an egg weight and put in your glove and hit your opponent. You can't do any of those things, right? You can't dissolve your resume into water and then drug your opponent. Like, I get that. The resume doesn't give you an extra boost in the middle of a fight. I get all that. I get that the resume itself isn't in there with you throwing chingazos against your opponent, right? So when you throw the jab, like the resume doesn't grab your opponent by the ankles so they don't move. I get all that. Okay, I hope you know that. We all know that. Did you figure that out by yourself? That you can't take the resume with you to the ring? That the resume can help you during the fight? Did you figure that out all by yourself? I would hope that somebody, like, you know what I mean? But why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because it tells us more. We have more data. Data helps us, okay? It helps us determine things better. That's how algorithms work, right? The more data we have, the more of a better judgment we can make in regards to a fight or a fighter, okay? The more data we have, the more we have to judge off of, right? So I keep hearing, oh, who cares if he doesn't have the resume? Yeah, Canelo has a resume, but Caleb Plant has the skills. He's more skilled than Canelo, right? That's what I keep hearing. Caleb Plant has the skills to pay the bills, right? That's what I keep hearing. That's one of the favorite lines people got. He's got the skills to pay the bills, right? Okay, cool. He's got the skills to pay for his lowrider. He's got the skills to pay for his Impala. He's got the skills. Good for him. Good for Caleb Plant. He's got the skills. Good for him. Well, Canelo's got skills too. But what are skills really? Right? I think when boxing fans look at skills, they're looking at the things they like to see. And if that fighter does those things. A lot of boxing fans call skills when guys are fighting on the outside, making a guy miss, right? Like pairing shots or making guys miss, countering, right? Boxing on the move. They tend to call that skills more so than other things, right? But we have to look at it in parts, right? Like, who's a better inside fighter? Because inside fighting is a skill. Well, Canelo is clearly, in my opinion, the far superior inside fighter. Who's the better fighter at mid-range? Because boxing is done at different ranges. At mid-range, who is the better fighter of the two? In my opinion, Canelo is more skilled as a mid-range fighter. Who is a better fighter from the outside? All right. Even though we have limited data on Plant, I can still make a judgment call and say I think Plant is better from the outside because he's a long. I apologize, guys. I don't know what happened there. Apparently I got kicked out. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you could hear me. That's what happens when you go live. I accidentally clicked out of the screen. You know what I mean? Now, some people asking, hey, where do I become a member on HCP? So where it says DStyleBoxing, if you're watching on your mobile phone, where it says DStyleBoxing, or right where you see the subscribe, you'll see a join button. You can join as low as 99 cents a month, and you could help support DStyleBoxing and HCP. All right. Look, I want to make sure people understand. And thanks for clarifying for me, Andre. I appreciate it, brother. But now I went over kind of different kind of levels of boxing, and by levels I mean like inside fighting, mid-range, boxing from the outside, right? And we could still talk about defense, we could still talk about offense, we could still talk about the actual delivery of the punches, the jab, the hook, the uppercuts, or 45s, or counters, right? We could talk about all those things for sure. Right now, let me get something here really quick for you guys, just so because I have somebody asking, so I want to make sure my brother gets it here. So give me one moment. I appreciate your patience. But what is? I'll put a link in the chat, brother. So I have a link in the chat right now. I'm going to post. All right. And that's the link you can use if you want to become a member, as low as 99 cents a month. And I definitely appreciate it as you get to use the emojis, and I'll have more features coming in the future, of course. Check this out. Let me try to be as, before we even get to the discussion of what is skills, what like the levels of skills, different types of skills. Because there's different types of skills in boxing. It's not like it's just one thing. Like, there's different things in boxing, different styles, right, in boxing. All right. But what do your skills matter if they've never been put to the test? Right? Like what type of stress, fight stress, have you been put under? What type of pressure have you been put under in a fight? Right? How much have you done this? Have you been here before? Have you boxed someone that's going to put your skills to the test the way they're going to be put to the test this Saturday? Has that ever happened? See, that's where resume matters and experience matters, right? Because the more you experience something and overcome it, the better you become at it. That's why we've seen Canelo improve, right? That's why he's in the gym constantly working. We have individuals out here that are acting like Canelo never improved, and he's the same dude that fought Cotto's brother, right? Well, Cotto hurt him, so yeah. Like, like what do you mean? Like what does that even mean? He was 19 years old. He was 19. Not even Floyd hurt him like that, and he outboxed him. Gennady Golovkin didn't hurt him like that, and nobody hurt him like that. So outside of a hunch, you got to at least admit it's a hunch that you think that Plant's punch is going to hurt Canelo. At best, his KO ratio, even given his low level of opposition, doesn't show he's a big puncher. So what are you basing his ability to hurt Canelo on, other than hoping he does so you can come out and say that he did? Based on what? What do you base what Plant can do off of? All we could base it off of, and what you were basing it off of, is the opponents that he's fought. Because that's all we have to work with. So all we could do is do our best to gauge, right? Gauge where Plant is at, right? Gauge where Plant is, okay, it was this level of opposition. Plant performed this much better than him. But how do we gauge that when we're talking about Canelo's fighting guys at this level over here? It's a much higher level. That's what it is. Caleb Plant's talking like he's this proven fighter, this proven commodity. He's not. What's crazy, he's only like 2 years younger than Canelo. That's the crazy part. And he had done relatively nothing up until like 2 years ago when he beat Uskatiki. And he's done relatively nothing since that win. So this is where experience and resume doesn't matter in the sense that you take it to the fight with you. It matters in the sense that we have data and we have something to judge that fighter off of, right? And if Canelo's been fighting better opposition and he's looked better than Plant, even though he's fighting better opposition, what does the data tell you? Canelo looked better against Callum Smith, in my opinion, than Plant has looked in a lot of his previous fights, and these opponents are not that good. So what do we base it off of? Oh, but he doesn't get. Look at his last fight. He kept Truax at a low connect percentage. That's Truax. It's the level of opposition that he's doing that to. Of course, I would hope he doesn't get hit much. If it's a lower level of opposition, if he's about to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez. And you have to ask yourself, why did they keep him at that level of opposition? Why didn't they pull the trigger and have him fight Benavidez? And vice versa. Okay, I mean, we can ask the same question the other way around. Why did Al Heyman want to lock in Canelo with a multi-fight deal? Does that speak to confidence in Caleb Plant? If he knew Caleb Plant's going to beat him, why would he try to get him in a multi-fight deal for? Not saying he shouldn't try, but that was like a big deal as to why the fight didn't happen at first. Which is, of course, it matters. It matters because we have something to compare it to. You're going to look good against a certain level of opposition, right? If you never raise your level of opposition, then you're constantly going to look good. You're going to look good. It's called the halo effect. That's why you could watch one of your local fighters box against subpar opposition. They could look spectacular. And then when they step up and you watch them on Showbox, then they get knocked the fuck out because they're raising their level of opposition. To me, Canelo's at least 1 or 2 levels above Caleb Plant. He just is. And Caleb Plant hasn't looked to the point. He hasn't looked so spectacular against this level of opposition like that. Okay? For me to make a determination that, okay, this level of opposition wasn't all that. Contrary, he was struggling against Uzcategui. Contrary, he was bloodied up and he was getting smacked around by Uzcategui in the last final rounds. Go rewatch that fight. The dude's bloodied up and he's holding on for dear life. Okay? That's what happens in the last 4 rounds against Uzcategui. Go watch it. All right? No, Plant never gets hit. Okay, well, he doesn't get hit, right? So if Plant doesn't get hit, I shouldn't be able to have an example of him getting hit by Uzcategui, right? I'm not talking flush. I'm not talking, here is Plant. Okay, let me turn this really quick. Here is Plant eating a straight right from Uzcategui. A beautiful straight right. In fact, I think that's a punch that bloodied him up. Here's Uzcategui after landing a nice uppercut on Caleb Bloody Plant. Okay? Here is Uzcategui landing a left to the body of Plant. Right there. Now, this was just after 2 minutes of watching one of the rounds that they fought in. One of the later rounds, in fairness. Okay? Funker Die Boxing, my brother. He's a silver dragon. He joined the membership. I appreciate you, brother. Okay? You can now use, the emojis because HCP is war. Now, Caleb Plant's level of opposition dropped dramatically after he fought Uzcategui. Why? I don't know. I would have been better off him rematching Uzcategui than fighting fucking the Subway dude or fucking Fagan Butts or Truax. He could have at the very least rematched, I would think, right? I understand the guy lost after that, but still. Now, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, I got a bad feeling." Look, let me tell you guys something, man. You can't don't sweat what you can't control, right? If there's people scheming behind the scenes to screw over Canelo, well, we have no control over that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's why sweat shit that we can't control. All we can control is what these guys have done and how we believe they're going to do. Okay? That's all we can control. We don't have control over anything else. We just don't. Okay? Caleb Plant. All right? Caleb Plant. You know what I realized? Like, I already knew, of course, that the experience factor, resume factor, level of opposition factor is worlds apart. Okay? Caleb Plant was on the freaking podium. Dude. Caleb Plant was on the podium talking about fucking his fights at fucking Golden Gloves, dude. Like, Golden Gloves, ladies and gentlemen. Golden Gloves. That's what he used as an example. Like, oh, people didn't think I could win. You in the media, nobody believed in me when that dude at Golden Gloves was knocking dudes out. Look, I don't want to diminish participants of Golden Gloves, right? I don't. But we're talking about a world title fight. That's like going to the Super Bowl, right? You're talking about, when nobody believed in you in middle school, right? Like, yeah, I know I'm about to face Tom Brady, but you know what? When I was in middle school, right, there was this kid called John Johnson that everybody said couldn't be stopped. You know what I mean? They all laughed at me at the bleachers, and I went out there and I did my thing and I stopped them. Like, okay. Dude, you're about to go against Tom Brady, brother. I mean, I don't know what the John Johnson from middle school has anything to do with anything. The dude's talking about Golden Gloves. He's talking about he doesn't have examples. He's got Uskateki, right? Oh, everybody thought Uskateki was going to destroy me. Well, first of all, I had Plant winning that fight, okay? I said, I think Plant's going to win that fight. But I thought it would be close, and it was close. Go rewatch that damn fight, all right? Dude was blooded up and holding on at the end of that fight. Go rewatch it. He went life and death with the dude in the second half of that fight. Go rewatch the fight. And this is a dude that had been beat multiple times. We're not talking about one of the elites in the division. They were about to feed Ukiteki to fucking Benavidez. He was going to be food. All right? And he knew he was going to be food. That's why he took EPO. The dude's talking about Golden Gloves, shit he did in high school and shit. I'm surprised he didn't bring up some bully from high school. Oh, there was this bully in high school. People laughed at me. But then I hit him with a straight left and I knocked him out. Like what are you talking about, dude? You're about to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez and you're talking about this dude like he's got to be delusional. I'm sorry. And there's Kid Up Plant fans on the internet. I'm sorry, you sound delusional. Oh, they don't want to give Plant credit for what he's done, and then they turn around and discredit everything Canelo's done. Do you not understand? Now, I'm not calling you delusional because you believe Plant could win the fight. I'm calling you delusional because you believe that what he's done is anywhere near comparable to what Canelo's done. And it's not. It isn't. This is by far Caleb Plant's best opponent. By far. It's not Canelo's best opponent. It isn't. And I'm not just talking about Floyd. I'm talking about a Trout that came off a victory over Miguel Cotto. I'm talking about a Erislan de Lara who was the best fighter in that fucking gym that the Charlos were in. The Charlos were not even they were not even the best fighters in their own damn gym. Lara was at that time. Okay? For anybody wants to bring up the Charlos from 154. So I guess Canelo was never in Golden Gloves. Okay? Plus, dude, you're from Nashville, bro. We're not even talking about the New York Golden Gloves. You're from Nashville. Oh, yeah, I'm sure the Golden Gloves in Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, those Golden Gloves, watch out, okay? Watch out with the Golden Gloves in Tennessee. Shout out to Monty Brown TV, Funk or Die Boxing, and not on here, Tony Scarface, Rump PMC. By Dr. saying that, styles make fights. Of course styles make fights, but it's the level of the style, okay? It's the level of it. So let me give you some examples, right? Gabriel Rosado should have been able to beat Alfredo Angulo style-wise, right? If he boxed on the move and stick and move and jab, jab, cross, a counter with a hook, check hook, just outbox Alfredo Angulo, all right? Style-wise, should have beat him. But he got knocked out like in the second round. Because the fight stress, he couldn't keep up with it. He wasn't ready for it. He wasn't experienced against that yet. Maybe now with his experience, he could maybe deal with it better. But at the time, he couldn't. It's how good he could execute the style. And at what level can you execute the style? Okay? At what level can you do it? At what level can you execute the style? It's not just about the style. That's lazy thinking. And I'm not calling Fight Doctor lazy, but what I'm saying is, overall, people that just say styles make fights, that's it. No, it also depends on what level are you performing the style. All right? That matters, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? At what level are you performing that style? That matters. It does. Just because you're a pressure fighter doesn't mean you're going to beat guys that don't like pressure, okay? Because if the dude that doesn't like pressure can knock you the fuck out, it's not going to matter. If you don't put on the pressure at that level like that, it's not going to matter. It just doesn't. I think a lot of people are hoping Caleb Plant wins. You're hoping he wins. That's what it is. At least admit it. Okay? Look, can Plant win a decision? Is it? I don't think it's likely. But is it if they fought 100 times and you pull a couple of them off? Maybe. Right? He's going to have the performance of his life. Okay? The stars are going to have to align for him. That's what's going to have to happen. That's just the way it is. I think Canelo's going to beat the shit out of him. All right? That's what I think. That's how I feel. I don't want to sit here and give people false hope. And no, he has a shot. I don't think everyone has a shot because anything could happen in boxing. Okay? Somebody could break their hand. You could twist your ankle. You could like the craziest shit could happen, right? Maybe you do land a punch that affects your opponent more than they thought. Whatever it is, right? A cut can change things. A lot of things could happen, right? It's just not likely. It just isn't. You're hoping Plant wins. You're hoping Plant is at that level so his quote-unquote style can give Canelo problems. Okay. Fair enough. Right? Fair enough. Speaking of styles make fights, right? The Matador should be able to beat the Bull, right? They should. But if you just call someone a Matador and just throw them in there in the bull ring, they're not going to beat the Bull. You got to know what you're doing, right? You got to have the proper technique and experience before you face the biggest, baddest bulls. Okay? It's just the way it is. In bull riding, right? And I'm not advocating any of this stuff. I'm just saying, in bull riding, you don't just go in there against the best bull after you've been riding the worst bulls. Okay? For you to ride the biggest, baddest bull, you have to work your way up so you're ready for it. It's the way it is. It's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. There are freaks of nature out there that, even though they haven't faced that level of opposition, you could look at them and you say, man, that dude's fucking special. I could see it, right? Maybe you all think that's Plant. I don't. Okay? He looks special to me when he fought Truax. He beat Truax. He handled him, but didn't look special to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am sorry. And the best shit people got when I asked them, people don't got anything, man. Like every time I ask, okay, what's Plant going to do? Well, Styles make fights. Okay, well, what's he going to do, though? Oh, he's going to move around to do this. He's going to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, even at that, he struggled against Uzcategui, right? No, but you know, and then they start resorting to like, oh, because you're Mexican and you're just biased for the Mexican, and you know, that's why you're picking Canelo. No, I see plenty of black folks picking Canelo. I see plenty of white people picking Canelo. I see plenty of, all races, creeds, religions picking Saul Canelo Alvarez. In fact, a lot of you aren't picking fucking Plant. You're saying things like he's going to give him a good fight, but you're not picking Killer Plant. Very few you're actually picking Killer Plant. So it can't be, right? Like, if it's like this, if the only people on the planet, all right, picking Canelo were of Mexican descent, right, maybe you would have a point, right? But I could guarantee you this right now. The odds makers in Vegas don't give a fuck if Canelo is doing this for Mexico, and they don't care about that, okay? They're trying to make fucking money, right? And they know there's no money in betting on Canelo. They know this, right? Jalik saying Canelo's going to get robbed if he don't KO Plant. I don't know. I see people saying the other thing, Jalik. I see people saying that powers are at play. Okay, they're doing like, look, I could appreciate what Jalik just said because it's very straightforward. Okay? A lot of you out there, just say it. Okay? Stop mincing words and just say Caleb Plant's going to get robbed if it goes, just say it. Okay? Now the dude's going to PBC, right? He's going to PBC on that side of the street, you know, but still, they still think everything's on Canelo's pocket. Apparently, you know, even Al Heyman, right? Canelo's got Al Heyman in his back pocket, right? Right? Fight Doctor, there's nothing wrong with thinking he's a live dog. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong at all. But you're still picking Alvarez, though, right? You're still picking Alvarez, though, at the end of the day. I got Saul Canelo. I can't control the judges. I can't control if they're scheming behind the scenes to rob one guy or the other. I can't control any of that. So I never base my predictions on that, because then you're going to drive yourself mad, right? Maybe it's because I'm jaded as a boxing fan. I don't know, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think this is going decision. I just don't. I think Canelo's going to dig to the body. He is going to rip that long torso of Plant. I don't think Plant's ever been hit with anything quite like Saul Canelo Alvarez. Not just in power, but in accuracy. I don't think he's ever been hit with something like this. I don't think he's ever dealt with, everyone keeps talking about Plant's defense, right? Plant's never fought somebody with the defense of Canelo Alvarez. Okay, Uzcategui's defense, you know, he don't got a defense as far as I'm concerned, all right? And he was making Plant miss quite a few at the end of that fight, all right? Dude was bloodied up. He had him bloodied up. He had him a little bit cut. And Plant showed toughness in that fight, in fairness, right? But he's not ready for that level. He just is like, he just isn't. Where is the in-between guys? Where is that fight? Like, if this was like climbing to that level, where's that fight? He's still citing Golden Gloves. The dude's still talking about his Golden Glove days and what he did in high school and what he did in Pee-wee boxing and the stuff he was doing as an amateur. Well, you obviously weren't that good, Plant, because you didn't make the Olympic team. So how good were you really? You didn't make the Olympic team. So how good was Plant? Did Plant ever win? Some world medal? Was he a world champion as an amateur? He keeps talking about his amateur days. Like, so, like, did he ever do that? Now, that doesn't mean everything, but if that's all you're fucking citing, right? What do you got? Canelo's been the man at 154, 160. Now he's the man at 168. Well, what have you done, Plant? He showed up to your neighborhood, and now he's taking over shit. What have you done? Oh, it was always I always wanted to unify the divisions. You never showed us you did. You never showed us that you try to unify divisions. I keep hearing about how Shakur Valdez should be next. And I'm not disagreeing with that. I do think that fight should be next, right? Why? Because they're in the same division. They're both titleists. They're both with Top Rank. It makes all the sense in the world. I agree. Why didn't Benavidez plan happen? Same promoter, same, weight class, both titleists. Why didn't that fight happen? Maybe if Plant had a fight with Benavidez and vice versa, I'll have a little more to gauge the guy with. Maybe I would understand, okay, he's got that experience at that level now, or close to it. You know, he had some fight stress in that fight, yada, yada, yada. There we go, right? He doesn't have that. Ladies and gentlemen, he just doesn't. You know what I mean? Like when Andre Ward's going to fight Kessler, right? A lot of people pick Kessler because of experience, right? But let's be honest, Kessler was not a Saul Canelo Alvarez. And Plant is not an Andre Ward. Andre Ward was a gold medalist as an amateur, okay? And as a pro, had been tested before, had been dropped, he got back up, he proved he could overcome that. You know, he beat Edison Miranda pretty handily, okay? So was that the top of the top? No. But I was able to judge his skill level, right? Versus the experience of Kessler, and it was pretty close. So I picked Ward to win. So I have gone against guys that don't quite have the experience, right? But it does matter when it's this far apart. I mean, shit. Dude, this dude's still talking about fucking Golden Gloves at the press conference. Nobody believed in me. They were laughing at me. You know, when I entered the Golden Glove, like, wait, what? You're about to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez. You have to go all the way to Golden Gloves? Dude. Rob PMC, I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does. Quite frankly, I don't know. What I do know is that he has only fought a certain level of opposition. I can only judge it so much. And it wasn't that impressive against those guys for me to say, like, oh, yeah, that overcomes what I have seen Canelo do and prove. Show and prove, ladies and gentlemen. That's the name of the game. Not to mention, Canelo's sharper. He just fought in May. Canelo's fought like twice from the last time fucking Plant fought. So, like, he's sharper. I mean, I don't know what else to tell people. You saw the press conference. We have individuals out here pretending like he slapped, like he pimp slapped Canelo, okay? And that slap made Canelo's head turn, right? The reason Canelo's head went like this is because Canelo rolled his head. The tips of his fingers hit Canelo. That's not what he was aiming for. He was aiming for a slap, and Canelo had moved so much that only the tip caught him. And then Canelo, like, two-pieced him, and Caleb Plant actually missed a punch. Take it for what it is. I know there's only so much you could take from that little snippet of what happened. Just saying. Caleb Plant is not ready for this, guys. And then he's bringing up Cotto's brother, bro. You're bringing up Cotto's brother when Canelo was 19 years old. Canelo didn't even have his man strength yet. He was a teenager. Like, what does that even mean? Canelo's fought much better fighters and bigger punchers than Miguel Cotto's brother. Oh, yeah, he did. Rob B. Well, yes, he did. He hit him with his palms, but he did. How do you think the glasses broke? Did they just break by themselves with the air or what? Did Canelo's plants like glasses break themselves? Is that what happened? Why do you have a cut right here? From the glasses, obviously it cut him, but why was it there? There had to be some impact, right? Unless Canelo has such devastating power that even when he misses, right, the air breaks the glasses and it cut him, right? Is that what it was? That the glasses, okay, so he hit him in the shoulder. So he hit him in the shoulder so hard that the glasses broke? All right, if I'm right about the glasses, something landed, right? The beautiful thing is that we have evidence, right? And yeah, if you slow it down, he did. And Caleb Plant is like this, and he's throwing a punch, and he's missing by this much. Not to mention, I'm in the belief that Canelo wanted to size him up, right? And that's why he pushed him. Similar to how Tyson Fury pushed Deontay Wilder before their second fight. He wanted to size him up, right? Caleb Plant was pushed back, and then he started to, if you look at it again, he starts to walk very slowly, like talking, and then he tries a cheap shot, Canelo. And in my opinion, that was a rolled slap. Ain't nobody throw to land with the tips of your fingers. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, we got dudes out of here pretending and shit. Okay? Oh, he slapped the fuck out of Canelo. Like, no, he didn't. Yeah, his face went like this. Slaps don't do that. Okay? Sorry. Go watch those slapping contests. Even the dudes that get knocked out. Like, your head turns like this, boom, like you know what I mean? But you don't go like this, like Canelo rolled the slap. That's what happened. Okay? That's why they have to like this shit's crazy. But hey, the day of reckoning is coming, baby. The day of reckoning is coming Saturday. That's why they fight the fights. This is why they fight the fights anyway. They're going to fight anyway. Right? So at the end of the day, they're going to fight anyway. Not anyway monster anyway. They're not going to fight him, but they're going to fight each other. Right? That plan has a sauce. Well, we're going to find out. What type of sauce? Tomato sauce? He's going to have sauce all over his face. Right? I realized that in the Skatiki fight, he's a bleeder. I think he's going to bleed in this fight, to be honest with you. I think Caleb Plant, Toby, if that was a fist, yes, he would have missed. Of course. 100%. He would have missed. He went like this. Now, granted, it was smart to do this. Both guys use their palms because you don't want to break your hands, right? But he hit him with the tips, bro. And they just acting like he slapped the fuck out of him. Like, you would have heard it. You could hear a slap, guys. Slaps are loud. Okay? If he would have slapped them, you would have heard like a big clap. It would have been loud. Especially, think about it. If I just tap myself, right? Just tapping myself, you could hear it. Okay, you could hear that. If somebody slapped you so hard that it made your face go like this, that shit would have been heard. Bah! Like it would have been loud as fuck. You didn't hear it because there was no direct impact. It was a rolled impact. That's why you didn't hear it. And that's that. And they had mics on, and you didn't hear it? We could hear Canelo go, "You're not at this level. Don't talk about my mother." You could hear all that, but you didn't hear the slap? No, I'm good, Blood. I'm good, brother. But a shout out to Blood. Shit's crazy, bro. And then who brags about a slap anyway? No, don't get me wrong. I would rather get punched and slapped in the face. That's me. All right. But that's me. All right. But so I get, it's like a disrespectful thing. I get it. But he missed. And then Canelo did some like crazy like ninja shit on him, bro. Like just like pop. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was. He broke his glasses. Dude, they had to break that shit up the health plan, bro. Right? Saul Canelo Alvarez is a fucking wolf. Okay? Canelo is old school. He's in the gym all the time. He's training all the time. He's hungry, right? He's old school. He's a wolf. Plant's a fucking domesticated animal, right? And Plant's not even a dog that lives in the backyard. He lives inside. Okay, now Heyman's house, okay? And gets pet and shit. Good boy. Good boy, Plant. Yeah, we're going to get you $10 million, Plant. You could buy yourself one of those bouncy cars, Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? We're going to get you that payday, Caleb Plant. And don't worry, Caleb Plant. After Canelo beats your ass, you go buy yourself some bouncy cars. You know what I mean? Some low riders. You can keep eating some more tacos if you want. It's all good. Okay, but your time is done. All right? You're a domesticated dog is what you are. Oh, but Plant's got the dog in him. Well, we're going to find out, but he's a domesticated dog. He's about to fight the biggest dog of them all. A fucking wolf is what he's about to fight. Okay? Plant's like, dude. All right? Don't talk about my mother. I'm not going to lie. That shit's funny. Canelo be talking about dudes' mothers all the time. Right? Danny Jacobs get chinga su madre. Right? Which means, fuck your mother, pretty much, right? And then he said, "Motherfucker" to this dude and that guy, motherfucker this, motherfucker that. Right? I'm just waiting for the next. I mean, all these boxers do it. A rap album, a Canelo rap album. I'm just waiting for it. Motherfucker, my name's Canelo, like some shit, And then Caleb Plant says at one time, who gets up, "You're talking about my mother!" Like, whoa, bro. The fuck? Chill out. But something tells me they're probably just trying to sell the fight. I don't know. But it is what it is. Okay? Go get yourself a nice bouncy car. You know what I mean? You could get you could buy yourself a nice big garage now, Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? You get yourself like different colored, like freaking like Impalas and shit. With nice little wheels and nice rims and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Bounce them up and down. You know what I mean? Because that's all you're going to be doing after this fight. Because you ain't going to be undisputed champion of the world. I'll just tell you that right now. Okay? I'm just going to tell you right now. Now, Canelo, obviously, man, I can guarantee you. And it's like Blood said, he wants to have a reason to take it personal, and that's motivating him, right? Oh, he talked about my mother, and he's fucking attacking that. I feel bad for that punching bag, man. Right? Now, punching bags aren't people, right? It's just an object, right? It doesn't have feelings, but I still feel bad for it. You know what I mean? Like, Canelo punished the fuck out of that punching bag. You know what I mean? He talked about my mother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they probably already went through like 4 or 5 punching bags at this point. Right? I'm just letting you know right now. Okay. But with that said, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Tonight, I will not be available, but Chief Funky will be live. HCP Uncensored. Right? So make sure you guys tune in for that. And I believe he'll have Joe Habib on. So make sure you tune in for that. It should be a good show. HCP podcast will be early tomorrow. It's going to be at 12 noon Eastern time. We're going to have Christy Martin on, okay? And we're going to talk further about this fight and the fights. So I hope to see you guys there, right? Make sure you, do what just make sure you tune in, okay? So hashtag HCP. This is DStyleBoxing. Keep it boxing. I'm out. Peace.